My name is Mark Hill. I'm from the University of Wisconsin, and I'm the vice chair of the CCC and presumptive chair someday when Beth gives up the reins of power. I think we had a really good day yesterday, hearing about some of the problems about hurricanes and how information technology can largely be a force for good, but there are challenges. How wireless communication is not reaching everyone, how self-driving cars are not just a technology but could have profound societal impacts, how AI is augmenting humans and not replacing them, hopefully. How we have these human-machine symbiosis with crowdsourcing and other things, and how there's a long partnership with government, industry, and academia to move us forward, articulated wonderfully a long time ago by Vannevar Bush. We also had a great poster session. The posters are great, I think, because they inject youth into this meeting. And what the poster presenters don't know is part of our goal is to inculcate new leaders or indoctrinate new leaders. And so maybe you too could be standing up here in 20 years. So what I wanted to do first of all here was thank some of the people that make this happen. Anyone who's run a conference knows that it's a lot of work to make it look like it's no work, especially starting with the CCC staff, our director Ann Drobness, Kari Douglas, and Helen Wright. I know Kari especially was tireless on this conference, and we thank you for that. Also, CCC's parent organization is CRA, and they have many staff, but some of the key staff involved with this symposium are Andy Burnett, the executive director, who's over there, and Sandra Corbett and Sabrina Jacob, who work so hard and even have trouble sleeping to make things work well. So how about a round of applause for all of them? I tried to find Sabrina and Sandra to get them in here, but they were too busy. Okay, so just to remind you, this is all about catalyzing, right? So CCC is trying to get people talking together, researchers, research funders, research customers, and this symposium is a perfect example of that. So thank you for being here. Just a couple of little advertisements. You can submit proposals for things to catalyze specific areas where you need to explain, why this matters to a wider group. You can also influence who joins the council by making nominations by February. And so this organization is not, an ivory tower, it's you. Okay, so moving on to today, we have 3 panels that are, I think, very exciting. So the first one is about security and privacy and democracy. And unfortunately, I think we've had way too much advertising for why this panel would be relevant. I would have preferred less advertisement, but they're absolutely relevant. The next panel that we're going to have is on data, algorithms, and fairness. This is coming up as AI systems work on big data, and for example, if the data has bias, the machine learning algorithms will faithfully generalize that bias and continue it. And among the things I learned about this is that even the notion of technically defining fairness is difficult. And so it turns out that if you can't define it well yet, you can't do it. And so there's we've made progress, but there's very exciting things that have to be developed. And then finally, we're going to conclude with a panel on national priorities where we have a number of luminaries, not that the other panels aren't luminaries as well, that are in government or were formerly in government to give us their perspective on things that are going on. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Kevin Fu, who's going to run the first panel. Kevin is an associate professor at the University of Michigan, and he was one of MIT's technology reviews big shots under 35 and has many other things, including starting a company. I think he works in what was it Farnham called the Internet of Unsafe Things, especially with respect to some medical applications. So, Kevin.